So, what is agibilità and what does it mean? Essentially, when work is finished, it has to be signed off, and you need a certificate of agibilità, which is a combination of things. It's fit for purpose in as much as that there are the right volumes of air and light for each room for them to be healthy. There are minimum heights. So, for example, a bathroom or a kitchen can be 2 meters 40 high, but a living room or a bedroom has to be 2 meters 70. If they're not, you won't get agibilità, and you'll have to call the room a storage room or a depositor, which might affect the number of bedrooms you have in terms of the worth of the property and future resale. It also has an element of energy efficiency within it as well. It's also that all the plumbing and the wiring meet current regulations. And it's also that the relevant permissions have been got for any of the work. And this is where it gets scary. Oh, without a certificate of agibilità, you can't sell your house. And you also can't rent it out because now if you are renting something out on Airbnb or on booking.com or however you do it, you've got to be registered with the local council. And the first thing they're going to ask you for is your certificate of agibilità. So how does this affect DIY? There are tons of people who have a romantic notion of they're going to buy a ruin, they're going to put their blood, sweat and tears into it, they're going to rope in friends and family, they're going to sort of restore it themselves. Fine, if it comes under manutenzione ordinaria. See the other video about permissions, but basically you can paint, you can plaster, you could lay floors, you could tile. None of those affect the agibilità at all. You can't put up dividing walls, you can't knock walls down, you can't open doors that weren't already there without a shia, which is a kind of permission, which you open the practice, you closed at the end, you get your certificate of agibilità. And even if in your own country you're a plumber or an electrician, you can't do the rewiring and replumbing yourself unless you already know beforehand that there is a tame electrician or plumber who will sign the work off. It's also very different systems here. So, for example, you don't have ring mains, which I don't know about other countries, but you certainly do in the UK. Specific materials have to be used. So it's actually a pipe dream to imagine that you can do it all yourself, because you don't know what's going to happen in the future. So you might say, okay, well, I don't want to sell. This is my forever home. I'm not going to rent out. But essentially, if you don't do things the right way and using the right teams, you are basically creating a pig in a poke. You're creating something that you can't sell or that you can't rent out. The other caveat I would say in terms of if you are doing elements of DIY, like plastering, for example, or tiling, is that you actually properly research the local materials and you respect how your house is made. So I've certainly come across people who've used cement-based products on top of lime-based products, which you can't do, but also they end up with damp because the property isn't breathable. So yeah, I would just be very cautious with that. And the certificate of agibilità is king. In fact, if you're making an offer for something, the notary will want to see the certificate of agibilità of what you're buying. And if it doesn't have one, because it's a property that needs restoring, then it will be part of your offer and part of the sales deed, which says there isn't a certificate of agibilità and that you, the buyer, accept that. And that's normal. A lot of places won't have the certificate of agibilità, but if you're selling something as something that you've restored and it doesn't have the certificate of agibilità, then no one's going to buy it. So I hate to rain on anyone's parade, always hate it, but that's the reality. Thanks for watching. Bye.